So a very warm welcome to all of you who have joined today. Thank you. Welcome to our Future, Our Voice webinar. Today you're going to learn about the mahi Auckland Council is doing with the disability community to fund climate adaptation ideas. We have got 150,000 to fund disabled-led projects that help disability communities adapt to climate change. And I just want to say a really big mihi and shout out to our funding partners, Foundation North. Okay, so before we get started properly, just a few housekeeping things. At the end of the webinar, you'll have a chance to ask questions. We'll have a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen to type questions into. And if you need to ask your question by speaking or signing, please just use the raise hand function and our team will enable your audio and video. You can see the captions in two ways. So you can either click on captions at the bottom of your Zoom screen, or you can use the live transcript link we've just dropped into the chat. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available on our pilot website. So without further ado, I am really grateful to Leslie Marsh, who's one of our grant advisory panel members. And he's going to open our webinar this morning with a karakia. So over to you, Les.
Kia ora, Carolyn. Ti hei mauri ora, kia taunga manakitanga, ki runga ki a tātou, kia tau te rangi maari e, ki roto I tēnei ui, kia marama, kia whakaaro, kia tika ngā kōrero. Kia whaihua a tātou mahi I tēnei wā, tēnei rā, āmeni.
Thank you, Les, for that beautiful karakia. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the pilot itself now. So this pilot is part of Resilient Tamaki Makaurau, which is Auckland Council's work to strengthen our region against climate change impacts and also the severe weather. A key part of this work is that we really want it to be community-led, so community leading adaptation to build a sustainable city. Adaptation is about living with climate disruption. So we're getting with climate disruption events, and it's adjusting so we can cope better with the inevitable impacts. In our pilot, we have got 3 goals. The first one is to help disability communities to adapt to climate disruption. The second one is to build skills, knowledge, leadership across disability communities. And the third one is to build trust and strengthen the relationships between Auckland Council and disability communities. One of the other things we're excited about is that we're trialling participatory grant making. So this means that disabled people help to design the process and recommend which projects get funded. So instead of council deciding everything, decisions are going to be shared with the disability community. And this is through the Grant Advisory Panel, which we call GAP. This way of working is fairer, it's more transparent, and it also values lived experience. I'd like to hand over to Paul Brown now, who's one of our grant advisory panel members, and he's also a
Thanks,
special
Carolyn.
advisor on this project with Juliana.
Kia ora, thanks, Carolyn. Ko Paul Brown aho. Ko Paul Brown aho, I'm Paul Brown, and as Carolyn said, I'm a member of the GAP, and I also provide some engagement type support to the pilot. So I'm going to introduce myself firstly and tell you one thing that excites me about the project, and then I'm going to give you a wee bit overview of the GAP, the Grant Advisory Panel, and its work. So I'm Paul Brown, originally from Dundee in Scotland, been in New Zealand now, Aotearoa, for almost 16 years, live in Tamaki with my partner Nicola and our kid Helena. I've been involved and interested in climate change and disability for quite a long time, but when I worked at the Disabled Persons Assembly, DPA, I was kind of lead on climate change as Mojo, former Green MP who worked there, didn't want to be entirely pigeonholed as the climate spokesperson, so that role fell to me, and so did a bit of work around disability and climate change there, which got me really interested in this work, and so I applied to be on the panel. I think one thing that excites me most about this work is that it's disability led, is that it's our community deciding what things help enable us to adapt to climate changes, disruptions that we know are happening. Bigger than just emergency management, really important, but I think that we need to think wider than that, and I like that about this project. So a wee bit about the GAP before I hand over to Tamara to introduce herself. So as the Grant Advisory Panel, we will receive all bids and make recommendations to Auckland Council about which projects should be funded. Throughout the pilot, we've also been helping spread the word through our own networks and working together to shape the grant process. Because we've been part of the workshops, conversations along the way, we believe that we're in a good position to give feedback on the ideas coming through and to support the proposals meet the criteria. Also, we've been involved in looking at how the pilot is working overall. Our lived experience and community knowledge help strengthen the pilot, from encouraging people to get involved, to supporting strong proposals, to helping reflect on what's working and what could be better. I'll now pass to GAP members to introduce themselves, starting with Tamara.
Kia ora, thank you, Paul. And ko Aotearoa Waka, ko Rupahi te Mauna, ko Uanuku te iwi, ko Tamakana te Hapu, ko Makaranui te Marae, ko Tamara Grant ahau. My name is Tamara. I am an advocate for neurodivergence for those with autism, as I have autism myself. And I also am the founder of X-Abilities Neurodiversity Centre that is encompass how supporting neurodivergence in Aotearoa, but also with a Te Ao Māori view and lens. So that's a little bit about and I'm also a mother of two. And that's a little bit about myself. Why I really enjoy this mahi here is because there's this conversation hasn't happened before, it's a needed conversation, and it's being done, I feel, the right way by having those who will be affected helping with the decision making. And I am curious to see where it goes, but the fact that it could help the environment around us, possibly, and also helping the disabled community at the same time is something that I'm very, very passionate about, and I hope to support and share as much kōrero as I can from a lived perspective. But that's a little bit about me and why I'm passionate about what we're doing here, and very proud to be a part of the process with climate adaptation. But I'll be passing on to the beautiful Monica now to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Monica Leach, and I am part of the deaf community. I'm proud to be involved in GAP because with deaf people, there's often a gap in information, missed information as well. So having the deaf community involved in the group is important. A lot of the deaf community also aren't that knowledgeable about climate adaptation and also working to improve access to that information. And I've seen that growth and resources in different ways of providing NZSL, of audiological captions, of different ways of how that has built up. And that's a really important topic to have. And also wanting everyone, all the GAP members, and everyone to be included as well. You know, disabled, not disabled, everyone to be able to ask and be able to request support. And also building up those relationships and those networks and sharing to improve that information in the future, and that in turn leads to better accessibility. So thank you, everyone.
I think it's my turn to introduce myself.
Yep.
Yeah, kia ora. Ko Les Marsh tōku ingoa no Ngāti Hine Ōku Tupuna, kei noho au ki Tamaki Makaurau. So I'm originally from Ngāti Hine, up in Te Orowai, from Pipiwai, and I'm currently staying in Auckland City. And my name is Leslie Marsh. I'm interested in this project because as I'm a tangata kāpō member, and I've witnessed the Cyclone Gabriel situation and having my peers coming to me for advice. And then when I checked for advice for them, as I'm an advocate for a lot of my peers who are in the tangata kāpō space, there was not as much. And if it wasn't accessible. So that was a light for me. And when this opportunity came to be a part of a group that can tackle or collaborate regards to this inclusion of whānau hoa into this space, it was a no-brainer for me. Because if we can work together, it'll be better because we can weather the storm together. Kia ora. I'll pass it over to Tracy. Kia ora, Tracy.
Kia ora koutou, ko Tracy tōku ingoa, member of the GAP and part of the disabled community, background in community education and digital engagement, and an interest in climate adaptation and resilience. Like other GAP members, bring lived experience and a community-centred approach to this mahi, with a strong focus on accessibility and inclusion. What really excites me about this pilot and program is the opportunity to take a more thoughtful, community-led approach, one that prioritises accessibility, it builds trust and supports communities as well as disabled communities to be better informed, involved, and shaping their responses to the climate change. Ngā mihi nui. And over to Jade.
No, haven't got that.
Okay,
So
well, Pip
I'll
it is.
pop in now. You were clicking on me new for Philip Patson, Takuinua. I live in Auckland in Westmere with my greyhound Caleb. I've been involved working in the wider area of diversity, including disability, rainbow communities, and other people of minority status, I guess. I also have quite a wide background in leadership and co-ran the Be Leadership program for 10 years. My interest in being in the GAP and being involved in climate adaptation is that I think there are some very interesting parallels with other issues around society and the economy and that sort of thing. I also did some work about 10 years ago around emergency management for people in wheelchairs. Sadly, that didn't take properly, and so I'm back for another go. Should I? And I think I'm passing back to you, Sophie.
Kia ora, Pip. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Now that you've met the GAP members, Pip and I will take a moment to walk you through who can take part and what the basic requirements are. First, here's who can participate. The pilot is open to disability organisations and disabled people in Tamaki Makaurau. Individuals can apply, but will need to work in collaboration with an umbrella organisation as a funding host, which we can support. There are a few minimum requirements. Projects must be disability-led, based in Auckland, and focused on helping disability communities adapt to climate disruption. Instead of a traditional grant application, we'll meet with you and work alongside you to share your ideas. And back to Pip.
Sorry
Yep.
about that. Sure, Cassie. So, as Carolyn said earlier, we have a total pool of $150,000, and we are inviting proposals for projects up to $50,000. If you want to receive funding, you need to take part in one of the proposal development workshops and the pitch day, which will have different ways of being part of. So, in person, online, by video, etc. You're also welcome to join the brainstorming sessions that we have organised, or email if you simply want to share ideas. So the process is easy, it's not a test, you don't have to be an expert, and we're here to walk you through the process if you wish to make an application. So that's you, Paul, to give us an example of what project
Yep.
might be funded.
Yep. Thanks, Pip. At the start, I am going to give some examples, of kind of projects and project areas, but I do want to say that the GAP have been really clear that We are not the experts in projects. That community is those experts, and we'll help community shape proposals. So we are happy to receive some proposals that might be a bit out left field, where people have got some cracking idea to do something. But here are some examples of what your ideas could help, could be for funding around. So learning and information. We can work with disability community to make it easier to understand what climate change means for us and make this information easy to access. So that's one. Another example of a proposal or project might be planning. So working with decision makers to tell them what's important to our community. And how they're planning to make and work with them to help share in the planning of how they're making Auckland safer in terms of floods and storms and so on. So those kind of events. So yeah, it might be a project around working with council and other community leaders to make sure our voice is included. Community building, so making it easier to talk to our local community so we can ask for and offer each other help during and between emergencies. And I think that's quite an important one, WhatsApp groups, other things where we talk to each other, share ideas, make sure everybody's okay, as I say, and not just be the ones asking for help, but being able to offer help because we understand. Getting out into the taiwa, so getting out to the environment, learning about and restoring the environment through gardening or volunteering in ways that are accessible for us. I think there's some real opportunities there about, being able to plant food that we can eat in emergencies, but planting crops, vertical gardening. There's a whole host of stuff around gardening and environmental work that we could look at making accessible and participative for disabled people. Getting creative. Expressing how we feel about climate change through dance, poetry, theatre and so on. So the artistic folks may have some ideas there. Capacity building, so increasing the skills, knowledge, leadership and confidence in our community so we can adapt and respond well to climate change. So in finishing, we want the projects to be guided by the rich diversity of our communities, especially those who could be hit the hardest by the impacts from climate change. That could be within Te Ao Maori, the Pacific community, for young people or other particular communities. So we will be strongly supporting projects that come from those particular groups. But again, I want to finish by saying this list is not exhaustive. It's examples. We know that this is a creative community. We know that we are masters of creativity. We know that we are great at coming up with ideas to adapt to a world that doesn't meet our needs. And the GAP are open to proposals coming forward that we haven't thought about, as long as they are disability-led and community-based, really. So these are some examples just to get you thinking about how the funding might be used. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Paul, and all of the GAP members. And I just wanted to, so you can see we've got an amazing team working together, and I just wanted to do a quick intro for Jade Whara, who's not here with us today, but Jade is an amazing man. He's the director of his own communications company, and he's recently been appointed a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit. So yeah, big shout out to Jade as well. Right, we are going to have a break for 10 minutes. So let's take a break through till 1:10. So that's 12 minutes, and then we'll group back here online. And when we come back, we've got the amazing Emily Sutton from Climate Club, and we've got a really great interactive workshop for us all to participate in. So yeah, thanks very much. And we will see you back here at 1:10. Welcome back, everyone. So we've just started the recording. Tasha, you spotlighted? Are you? I can't see you. Do we have the spotlight on for the sign language interpreters?
Tasha is spotlighted, yes.
Ah, okay, thank you. I don't know why I can't see that. So welcome back, everyone. One of the things that we want to do in the pilot is build skills, knowledge and leadership across disability communities and for us all. So we're really excited to have an interactive session now, which is being led by Emily Sutton from the Climate Club. I've been part of one of Emily's sessions before, and they're fantastic. So I'm going to hand over now to Emily.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Kia ora koutou, everybody. I am thrilled to be here and be included to help kick off this pilot. Ko Emily Maven Sutton tōku ingoa. I hail from Pōneke, Wellington, but moved to Auckland and am now in Tamaki Makaurau. So this will be very interactive, but I'll just do a quick intro. Who is Climate Club? We're a registered charity. We run workshops and we help make it easy to for anyone to understand what a high impact climate action is and how it can be easy to take climate action. The purpose of this webinar is to help for you to find actionable ways to take climate action and to understand the fundamentals behind the climate science and climate adaptation challenges. But you may, by all means, be more expert. This is more of an introduction than anything. So bear with us if you know some of the answers. This will be in 3 parts. We will have an interactive quiz, then we will make a plan. So you'll all get to start brainstorming. It's okay if you don't have lots of ideas by the end, but this will hopefully jog some thoughts on those. And then you'll think of next steps and we'll hand back over so that you can hear more about the pilot. We will absolutely share the PowerPoint to participants afterwards. Just a quick trigger warning. This covers climate change, extreme weather events, and discussion of quite heavy and strong topics. So do take a moment, close your eyes, turn my voice off if you need to just take a moment to yourself if it becomes a bit overwhelming. I won't be offended. Prioritize your needs first, and everyone has a different experience of climate change. Okay, so let's start with why we're here. Raise your hand by using the raise hand option here if you've ever been affected by a climate weather event. Now this, for screen readers, is Alt-Y. Oh yes, you can raise your physical hand. Yeah. So more and more of us are becoming affected by climate weather events. Wow, that's over 20 of us on this call already. The goal is for fewer of us and for us to be more prepared. So really understanding what's coming, preparing more to make sure that the impacts aren't as large in future. Thank you so much for raising your hands. You can lower them now. But what is causing more and worse weather events? Let's just recap. Climate change is here. A rapidly heating globe adds more energy to the water in our systems. So even though we see heat, we also see more evaporation and more rain, which means more storms. Human activities are 100% responsible, and we can take action to reduce harm and reduce emissions. So the faster we fight climate change and reduce emissions, the more chance we'll have to have fewer weather events, extreme weather events in future. But obviously there's still a need to adapt to what's already here as well. So we'll cover both of these topics in the next 20 minutes. All right, pop quizzes, here we go. So I can't pass you candy or chocolate over the internet, but we will give you virtual trophies for winning the answers. For screen reader users, please, the poll is a bit clunky, but it should work. Tab to the polls and then use your arrow keys to go through the box list of answers. Use spacebar to click the right answer and then tab again. So it's tab, then arrows, then spacebar, then tabs. Those should be your options. Good luck, and I will try and go slowly so that you have the time to answer these questions. First question, during the last ice age, 20,000 years ago, when ice covered most of the world's land masses, how much colder on average was the globe? A, 15 degrees, B, 10 degrees, C, 5 degrees. This is Celsius, by the way. Sorry for any Americans in the audience. We go Celsius here. So I'll just read the question again. 20,000 years ago, during the last ice age, when ice covered most of the world's land masses, how much colder on average was the globe? 15, 10, or 5 degrees? Some quick fingers in there.
This one.
Sorry, hosts and panelists aren't able to vote, and we'd like to have some fun too. So can that please be enabled? I know I'm not getting chocolate this time, Emily, but you know, I still would like to kind of display my knowledge here.
Absolutely. I think the alter ego Emily should be able to grant you permission, hopefully. We'll just leave the quiz open for 30 more seconds. So if you hopefully you'll get that access. I can try and figure it out here, but I'm not sure I have the permission, sorry. All right, 5 more seconds. Hopefully we'll grant it going forward. That's my hope. All right, let's end the poll and see what the answers are. Drum roll, please. The answer is 5 degrees. Well done to the 30% of you that got it. Good third, very educated. So it sounds like not much, right? It doesn't sound like much. It's only 5 degrees is a hotter or a colder day for most of us, but actually 5 degrees averaged across the whole globe is a massive difference in temperature and causes such radical changes like massive land masses changing. Okay, we'll just move the slides along. And here is the map, by the way. So there were sheets of ice all the way across from America to Europe, I believe. Crazy. Next question. By the end of this century, so in less than 200 years, Auckland's temperature is projected to increase by A, 0.5 to 1 degrees, B, 1.5 to 3.75 degrees, C, 4.0 to 5.5 degrees. By the end of this century, which is 70 something years away, but since the start of the pre-industrial, so since 1800s, Auckland's temperature is projected to increase by A, 0.5 to 1, B, 1.5 to 3.75, C, 4 to 5.5 degrees. And Nikki, you do still have your hand raised. Feel free to drop a question in the Q&A if you do have a question. Otherwise, you're welcome to lower it if it's from the first question. Looks like Tamara's going for B. I'll give you a few 30 more seconds to answer this. All right. Let's end this poll. Drum roll, please. The answer is 1.5 to 3.75 degrees. Almost all of you got this correct. Well done. Yeah. So 1.5 to 3.75 is pretty close to the level of heating that the level of cooling was in the Ice Age. And that was a dramatic shift to the cooler, and the whole world looked different. So again, this means that the whole world will look different again, and scientists know what this means, but we still have agency over what temperature it will get to. 1.5 or 3.75 have very different scenarios, so there is still room to fight to reduce emissions. Scientists know we will have many more intense storms, floods, cyclones, heat waves. Next question. Can we fight climate change? Has any international protocol or convention ever shaped the world and actually managed to change human behavior? A, yes. B, no. C, unsure. I'll just give you 20 more seconds. Do comment if I'm going too fast, and I'll give you more time. I don't want to stress anyone out. Okay. And the answer is yes. So there are lots of examples about how we can and have changed the world through cooperating with each other in society. Well done to the majority of you for getting that correct. So the example that I like to talk about is the Montreal Protocol. Scientists saw that certain gases were thinning the ozone layer, and they banned them. The ones that are in refrigeration, in fridges, refrigerants, that kind of thing. And they realized they were thinning the ozone layer, and so got together and published information about it and ended up getting all of those banned. So they're now banned and removed. And the last ones are still being removed from very old refrigerators, but most of them are banned. And the ozone layer is healing and closing up, so we don't get as burnt, I think. If we want proof that we can actually change a global issue, we just have to look up into the sky and see that. So there is precedent, there's proof there. Next question. Who is responsible for 50% of the world's emissions? A, the top 0.1% billionaires. B, the top, 0.1% billionaires. B, the top 1% multimillionaires. C, the top 10% us. Some quick answers coming in already. Mara's going C this time. Right. Nice. You're welcome to vote with your fingers if that helps as well. 1, 2, or 3. That works. Nice. We'll give you 10 more seconds. All right, and the answer is the top 10%, including us. Well done to half of you that got that correct. 50%, well done to her. If you can't see her, she is jumping around in successful happiness that she got that answer correct, and it's glorious. So there are lots of people who say, overpopulation is the problem, but that's not correct because not all of us emit the same amount of fossil fuels or burn the same amount of fossil fuels and emit the same. So there's a lot of research into who causes it. And the good news is we can all be part of the solution. And we have to work together in order to do that. But the graph that is my favorite shows a bell curve that goes down, kind of like a very broad funnel with a very narrow bottom. And so right at the top, the richest 10%, including us, so anyone relatively wealthy in a high-income country, or average of average-ish in a high-income country, is responsible for half of total lifestyle consumption, and just 10% of us do that. Whereas the poorest 50% of the world only emit 10% of the emissions. So it's not even who causes it is not evenly distributed across the world, which I find fascinating. Closer to home, what is the biggest source of emissions in Aotearoa, New Zealand? A, transport, B, energy, C, industry, D, agriculture, E, waste. Sorry, there are 5 options to tab through in this one. Transport, energy, industry, agriculture, waste. And John, I do see your question, but I think we'll answer that with the panelists later. I'm not sure I have the answer to your question. All right, let's see the answers. The correct answer is D, agriculture. Congratulations to 60% of you. You got that right. Nice. So over half of the emissions in New Zealand come from agriculture, but it's actually only 12% of our GDP. So it doesn't make up as much financially as it does in terms of climate damage. And we emit 8 million tons of CO2. My favorite story here is if we all swapped one car trip, which, acknowledging, hard for some people, hard depending on our circumstances, but if everyone in New Zealand swapped one car trip a week, we would save all of the emissions of Fiji that they emit in a whole year. So actually, yeah, we have a massive impact, and agriculture is really large for us, with 50% of our emissions. Next question, in Tāmaki Makaurau, Auckland, what is the biggest source for us? A, transport, B, industry, C, waste. And now you have to wonder, was my story about transport a trick question? Or was it helpful? We'll give you 10 more seconds there. All right, so the answer was transport. That is correct. Well done, 77% of you got that correct. Yeah, so a lot of short car trips are actually the main culprit to this. Lots of people think it will be trucks or freight, big things driving around, but actually it's all of us in our cars doing relatively short trips of 1 to 10 kilometers or 0 to 10 kilometers. Now to the consequences of climate change. What is considered one of Auckland's biggest climate risks? Is it A, flooding and sea level rise, B, tornadoes, C, drought and water shortages? I'll give you 15 more seconds. And the answer is flooding and sea level rise. You're a very knowledgeable group. I feel like we have definitely experienced those floods here as well. And that is correct. It is not tornadoes. There aren't as many, and they're in the Northern Hemisphere. We have cyclones here, but flooding and sea level rise is correct. That is, floods and slips are also the two main things we will see in terms of climate change here. And sea level rise is not something that creeps up at a specific speed. It actually starts rising faster. So it's something that we'll need to take seriously soon. What percentage of Auckland's coastal ecosystems are potentially exposed to sea level rise? Some 30%, half 50%, or most 80%? We've got a lot of virtual trophies to give out. You're all doing really well. Just give you 10 more seconds. Nice. And the answer is most. Well done. 65% of you got that correct. Crowns for all of you. Nice. So, with this in mind, what is the best thing we can do to prepare for a flood, landslide, climate storm? A, wait until a warning is issued, then quickly gather supplies and evacuate. B, work together to make a plan and adapt or move to avoid the risks and reduce our emissions. C, get insurance. D, move to a region that has never experienced these types of disasters. That's a long one. I'll read it again. A, wait until a disaster warning is issued, then gather supplies and evacuate. B, work together to make a plan and adapt or move to avoid the risks. C, purchase insurance coverage. D, move to a region that has never experienced these types of disasters. Red Nicholson has raised their hand. Would you like to pop your question in the Q&A, Red? I'll just give you 5 more seconds. Oh, no worries there. We've all done it before, Red. That's all good. Ka pai. Wonderful. Let's end the poll and move on. You got that very well, very correct. Almost all of you got that one correct. Well done. The answer is work together to make a plan and adapt or move to avoid the risks and reduce our emissions. Some of the others are also good answers, but this is the recommended option. Okay, next question. Which of these is not a way to adapt to more climate disruptions? A, understand your risks. B, create a community resilience network. C, build a plan for energy and food security. D, move away from hazards. E, they all are. Which of them is not a way to adapt to more climate disruptions? Five more seconds or 10 more seconds. All right, the answer is, drum roll please, they all are. Well done. The majority of you got that correct, 53%, just like agriculture. So moving away from hazards is also one way to adapt if you need to. There are other things that we can do in the places that we live, and building plans for energy and food security if a road is cut off, or creating a resilience network, understanding your risks are all part of how we can adapt to more climate disruptions. Is it a legal right for disabled communities? This is the next question. Is it a legal right for disabled communities to have their needs considered when planning climate solutions? A, yes, it's in the Paris Agreement. B, in the UN Agreement and national laws. No. C. Oh, sorry, can we skip question 11, please? Thank you. Here we are. Is it a legal right? Yes, in the UN agreement. So international. B, yes, in the international and national laws. C, no. Ten more seconds. Next question. Let's see the answer. Yes, it is in the Paris Agreement. So it's actually in the UN international agreements. And a shout out to a submission that's going through at the moment on making sure that it's part of the regional and national agreements. But every country, it should be a legal right, and New Zealand has signed up for it to be a legal right for our needs to be considered when planning climate solutions. Awesome. So this is the Paris Agreement. So internationally, this is the text saying climate change is a common concern of humankind, and there are obligations to a variety of parties that all need to be consulted and included in the solutions. All right, we're going to watch a quick video about making a plan, and then we will get planning. This is a story from, a story from Renee, who is visually impaired and lives in Poineke, Wellington.
I suppose in an emergency, it's important to be able to know where you are and what you have around you and who you have around you to do things. And so for me, one of the biggest things is knowing this house. I've lived here for 24 years now. We moved to this place just before I turned 2. So I've known this house for a long time. And so I know where everything is. We're well stocked with food. I know where all of the exits and entrances are. And I can pretty safely find where there is a place where I can drop in an earthquake because I'm aware of which items might fall on me. So I've got a lot of awareness of the environment, which is really important when you can't see what you're doing. If I'm not familiar with the environment, then I can get a little bit stressed in an emergency because I might not know where exactly is safe to go and who can help me, because the people that we rely on for support are not always around us, especially in a situation where they can't get to you because of transport problems or anything like that, where you might end up being isolated or with strangers. I suppose the best thing to do is to be able to clearly communicate your needs to anyone else that you have to talk to. So having in mind how you're going to quickly and efficiently communicate what you need to strangers is really important. So having a plan in mind of this is what I need and this is the help that would be useful from you is really helpful in a situation where you have to deal with strangers. When I start
strangers, yes, tricky. Also, I think it's really, I think the video spoke to me because it's very important to have a plan and be prepared. So this is the theme of adaptation, is thinking through things and really preparing. Here are the 2 question prompts for you to think through. Who could you take climate action with? So be specific. It could be a disability org, people you live with, a friend, a neighborhood group. What type of action could you take with them? So this could be preparing, adapting, or reducing emissions, up to you. And then think of one thing you're good at or you enjoy. With this in mind, how could you use this strength to take climate action? So we're actually going to give you 5 minutes now, or maybe 4 minutes. Is it okay to have 4 minutes, folks? 4 minutes to have a think through these two prompts. I'll read through them again in a second, and have a think of, based on what you know now, what sorts of things could you start thinking about taking climate action on? Each workshop, we invite you to think through an action you could start this week, perhaps something new with this new knowledge that you have. So I'll read the questions again, and then we'll come back at 1:44 with some questions with a field for you to put this answer in. Who could you take climate action with? Be specific. It could be a disability org, people you live with, a friend, a neighborhood group. What type of action could you take with them? Or think of one thing you're good at or you enjoy. With this in mind, how could you use this strength to take climate action? And June, I think Carolyn will get to your question soon as well. This is definitely an Auckland Tāmaki Makaurau pilot currently, I believe.
Are you there, everyone? Monica's just saying that her screen has frozen. Is anyone else having problems?
I'm just not talking anymore. Is that the problem?
No, it literally was freezing. That's okay.
Oh.
Now she's frozen. I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Tash.
Right. We'll just give you 10 more seconds and then we'll move on. Wonderful. So to wrap up, we've learned a little bit about climate mitigation, so reducing our emissions, the causes, the consequences, and what we can do to adapt. But the next step is you taking action of your own. And even though we can give you some information, leadership from your groups will be better. So the next invitation is to come to the focus group. And I think you'll hear more about that soon. So the questions from there will be a lot more in-depth around brainstorming different areas we can make plans in and start taking action in. But to close this section of the workshop, I would love to invite you to think through that action plan. What's one action you can take now that you know more? So we'll launch that end poll, please. So this one is a text box for you to fill in whatever you like. Now you know what the hazards are, what emissions are, key sources of emissions. 30 more seconds. Thanks, John. He's mentioning they have sliding cliffs in Whangaparaoa, tons and tons, and this could be an excellent pilot aligned to coastline adaptation plan. Fascinating. For the interests of time and to keep going so you hear all of the rest of the information about the pilot, I'm going to close the poll, but you're very welcome to email in afterwards or pop in the chat at any time what action you'll be taking. Thank you so much for participating, and congratulations. You have trophies, all of you, whoever whoever got any of those answers right. Congratulations. And if you do come to the focus group, I will see you at those in-person workshops. Thank you again, ngā mihi koutou. Thanks so much for having me here. I really enjoyed this. Ka kite.
Ngā mihi, Emily. A big thank you to you. That was lots of fun. Yeah, was a great way to learn, even without the chocolate. And our waistlines probably thank you, because lots of people got them right. So just moving on, and Emily's going to stay around too, so if you have any questions for Emily, she'll be here. If this pilot speaks to you, let's have a talk about the next steps. So the next step would be to attend a focus group, as Emily mentioned. So these are happening on the 18th, 19th, 25th and 26th of February. We've got a mix of in-person and online. And this is where the real shaping happens. So your ideas, bring them along. They don't need to be fully formed. This is about sharing with others. And talking through, you know, some of the adaptation on it. So we'll also be thinking about how climate change affects you and your community, and working together to think about what a disability-led climate adaptation piece of work might look like. I'm going to pop in the chat a link to our website, so all of this information is on our website as well. So if you want to take an idea further, so past the focus groups, when we get together and talk about ideas, the next point is we'll have a couple of proposal development workshops. They're on the 8th and the 15th of April. And this is where we get practical and support you to turn your ideas into a fundable proposal. So this is one thing, again, that's different from participatory grant making, from a standard grant making process where you have to email in your application form. We want to work together on these and see who's interested in the same topic. So that's on the 8th and the 15th, and there'll be support there for you. And then comes the pitch day, exciting, on the 6th of May. We're going to have a pitch day, and as Paul, might have been Pip, said, that's going to be a day to present ideas. So again, it's not just send in a proposal, it's, you know, tell us about your idea. There'll be different ways that you can submit. We'd love people to be there in person, but you can also link in virtually if you need to. And this will be a supportive space where you can share your idea with the grant advisory panel, and it's a chance to tell the story of your project and why it matters. Then funding decisions will be announced in June, and the grants will be up to 50,000 and up to 2 years to deliver on the project. So whether you're an individual or you're part of a group or an organisation, this is the chance to together on solutions that can help disabled communities live well as the climate changes. At the end of the webinar, we're going to send out an expression of interest if you'd like to go workshops coming up. It doesn't lock you into anything, and you don't have to respond right now. We'll also email out the expression of interest, and it will be on our website as well. Yeah, so just one more thing. You only have to attend one of the focus groups. So those 4 dates only go to one. So it's just one of the focus groups and one of the proposal writing workshops. And we're going to try and group people with similar ideas once we get to the proposal writing stage. So I'm going to open the question. I'm going to open the floor for questions now. So you can either type these in, and I think we might have 1 or 2 already in there, or just please pop your hand up and we can get your question in person. So any questions about the pilot, any questions for Emily, any questions for our GAP members, yeah, let us know.
Carolyn, could you tell us what date the funding decisions will be made?
Yes, I should be able to do that. It's late May, I think. I will pop that up on our website. Emily, I don't know if you've got that right to hand.
No, I'm sorry, I don't know that either.
No, all good.
Just noting that probably the decision will be made in May, but they won't be announced until June.
Thanks, Pip. Right, have we got any questions?
It looks like Tanya has their hand up.
Great, Tanya. Can we unmute Tanya, Emily?
I have requested Tanya unmute.
Yes, Tanya, you can unmute yourself now. Are you able to unmute yourself, Tanya? You should be able to. There you go. Fire away. What's on your mind? Seem to have lost Tanya. Can you hear us? You're unmuted. So if you've got a question, feel free to ask. No, okay. We'll leave Tanya unmuted. So Tanya, feel free to just jump in with your question. Any other questions from people?
Scott has just asked, we have a team with a number of individuals that would be positioned to work on both the application and delivery processes. Can we have multiple members of our team attend different workshops?
Yes, you can. When it comes to the just differentiating between the focus groups and the proposal writing workshops, so definitely if you want to attend different focus groups, that would be fine. You might want to consider once you get to the proposal writing stage whether you want to, if you're going to work on one idea, you'd need to come together at the same workshop for the stage. That would be fine.
There's another question. I think it's from Patty Poab. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. If a disabled person's umbrella organisation is not a disability one, can they still apply?
Yes, definitely. We are thinking, Patty, and it's lovely to see you. Yes, we're thinking that for individuals, you'd need to come under a kind of a funding disability organisation for a piece of work to go ahead. And DPA has offered up that function for individuals. So yes, your own organisation doesn't need to be a disability organisation. So John, would it be right to say, in saying the grant would have a bias towards process and procedure rather than making physical changes? That's a good question. I think that's probably likely, just given where we're all at in terms of our adaptation journey. I think that's probably most likely. But I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in. Yeah, jump in.
Caroline. I mean, I think it's likely because, let's be honest, while we're all pleased to have 150,000, it's not a lot of money. However, we are, as a GAP and as a team, going to help people who have ideas to find other sources of help. And it might be worth, if someone can flick in the chat or go to our webpage, there is currently a council initiative open which isn't disability focused but has significant amounts more money than we have, that may be able to assist. So we will help people, we will try and connect people with other sources of funding. My guess is that you're probably right, John, just because of the amounts involved, but we will help people with other sources of funding. As I say, there already is a current council initiative that just opened on the 2nd of February that has much bigger amounts of money, and we're already working with a couple of organisations to kind of maybe put bids into them.
Thanks, Paul. I've just posted a link to our web page too, so we do have information about Te Ara Uruto, which is that bigger piece of grant funding, and that goes wider than just adaptation. It also addresses emergency management, but it's open to everyone. It's not disability focused. It has quite a short turnaround. Yeah, so just have a look at that if you're interested. So this is quite a different pilot. Yeah.
Can I just say, Karen, that there may be some quick ones that people suggest, and they may be activity based. We'd have to wait to see what the panel thinks, I guess.
Thanks, Pip. So Patty, thanks for posting your reply. So in answer to your question, yes, certainly if you're in the area, you would be able to apply under our whānau trust. And we, of course, looking for disability led, but you can furnish that within a whānau trust. So
you were cutting it.
Oh, I was cutting in and out. Sorry about that, people. I was just responding to Patty. Is that better audio?
Yep.
So Patty, yes, you would be able to apply under a whānau trust. and you could be it could be a disability-led project because of the people working on it. Yep.
Yeah, and I want to jump in on that too, Carolyn.
Yes, Les.
In regards to that question, yes, like Paul mentioned, think outside the box, because some of the initiatives that our individuals online can come up with solutions and outcomes. And by collaborating with Whānau Trust, that is a disability-led individual, then that's fine, because that knowledge is with that individual. And Whānau Hawa, meaning the support of another member of the family or community, is awesome.
Thanks, Les. Kia ora. John.
There's one that came before that. Would you
Oh,
consider
thanks, Emily.
funding? So it's from an anonymous attendee. Would you consider funding the PCEP program that Renee was talking about in the longer part of the video that was shown? The video I showed, actually.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the PCEP program. Can you explain a bit more about what that is?
I actually watched the video and I thought it was really. Oh, sorry, you cut it.
I imagine we could fund a.
Sorry, you've cut out again, Carolyn.
I know. You go, Emily.
It's person-centered emergency preparedness, but I don't know all about it. I believe it was a Pōneke, like a Wellington pilot, but I'm not sure if it's.
Can I come in there a bit, Paul here? So it was a Pōneke pilot. However, Whaikaha, the Ministry of Disabled People, are looking, as I understand, about rolling that out a bit round the country. So watch out for it. Wellington first, then I think Northland. I know Auckland has put it, some people in Auckland, Greg Morgan, who some folk will know from Auckland Emergency Management, has suggested that Auckland would be a good place, partly because of the disability work they've been doing and this pilot. So expect it to appear here, but it is an initiative funded elsewhere, but there are plans to make it national.
Wonderful. Greg has just said the same in the chat. There are plans for a national rollout of that program. I can tell you more. Fantastic.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank
I did
you.
listen to you and got it right.
Teamwork.
Yep.
Now to John's question, I believe.
Yes.
The development of the grant application will have an environmental bias. Will the council provide an officer to help develop the application?
Absolutely. Yep. So we can provide, that's one of the great things, we can provide support that you might need to work alongside.
Tanya, if you would like to unmute, you're very welcome to ask your question. Otherwise, John has a question. Would a local board be regarded as an umbrella organisation, or is that a conflict of interest?
I think a local board, it would need to be disability-led.
Yep, absolutely.
John? Yeah, so ideally we'll be looking for disability-led organisations. But we understand that, that may not always be the case. Paul?
Can I come in? I mean, look, I think working in partnership with a local board may be, maybe a really cool idea that would create some real local change that would involve the voice of disabled people, but it would have to be demonstrated that it was disability-led. So I would have thought that potentially, a disability organisation or a group of disabled individuals, however you want to do it, in partnership with a local board, maybe it certainly is something that I think isn't ruled out. I'm not sure as yet it's something we've fully considered, so I don't want to make any promises on behalf of anyone, but I think as long as you were demonstrating that it was disability led, and then I don't see why a partnership between disabled people or a disability organisation and a local board might not be something that we would fund.
I agree.
But it's probably something we have to look at a wee bit more, because they're, where the funding goes and so on. But I don't see why a partnership wouldn't be something we could fund.
Yeah, we're really interested in that collaborative partnership nature. So it's great. Thanks for raising that, John. I'm just having a look through.
There's just one more around Waikaha's PCEP community, and if we've reached out, I think that might be following on from the PCEP kōrero from just before.
Can I come in there again? So I know that Greg has reached out, and he may want to speak for himself from the emergency management side. I have reached out and spoken to someone there with a kind of project pilot hat on, just to find out what they were doing and what was happening. And as I say, they are keen. They want to roll this out nationally. They understand that there's a bit of momentum in Auckland now, so are quite keen. But Wellington, Pōneke is the first cab off the rank, and then, as I understand it, and Greg might want to come in, it's Northland, and then Auckland may get in. But we certainly have reached out, and a pitch for Auckland to be involved has been made.
Greg, by the way, you are permitted to talk.
I'm permitted to talk. Thank you so much, Emily. Paul, you are 100% correct in everything you have said. And just the other day, dropped Waikaha another email to say, let's get on with that conversation. So, it's all lining up, and you've given a perfect account. I could not add to it. Might be the first time I've ever said that to you. Thank you.
Thought that was a compliment until that last bit, Greg.
Oh, well, yeah. won't be the last time. No, Paul's absolutely onto it. Yeah.
Paul is wonderful.
Yeah.
Nikki has also mentioned that they are doing a pilot on PCEP, and the fit is good. So I think there's a few dots to be joined here.
Yeah.
Any other questions coming in?
Okay. If there are any questions, please do send them in. You can do that via our webpage. So feel free to ask us anything along the way. We want this to be a really collaborative process as we work through it all together. We have a short webinar evaluation, and unlike most webinars that you go to where you get it afterwards, we're actually going to give you time to do it now. So if Emily, would you mind popping it up in the chat, and if people wouldn't mind just taking 2 minutes, should take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to complete it now. We've got you captured, and there's something.
It has been popped in the chat now.
Yep.
And for anyone who's unable to do it from the chat or do it spontaneously like that, we will put it up on the website, and we can email it out to anyone who wants it.
We will, Paul, yes.
Yeah.
There's one more question if you'd like to answer it. Are there any areas not to be repeated? But I'm not entirely sure what that means, from John.
I don't know if you can elaborate, John. So,
are there any aspects of emergency evacuation not to be challenged?
So in terms of emergency evacuation, that would probably link you up with Greg's team on on those kinds of projects. So we're able to kind of redirect as well. But as far as I know, there's nothing that's off the table.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of being a part of this project, because we can lead you to other funding pools and other orientation pools. You can get that information and reference it to.
And in terms of emergency management, you have until Sunday the 15th to submit on the government's bill. Not everybody is into writing government submissions, but for people who are, there is a bill out and about. They are accepting submissions. There will be a select committee, the usual stuff. I do know a number of disability organisations are submitting, and a number of individuals. So if John and others, if you want to submit, the parliamentary website, as usual, has all the bills that are up for submission. It's not a particularly lengthy bill, although it is a bill, so, they are written the way they're written. But, a number of organisations that I'm aware of are making points about disability community needing to be consulted and involved, potentially standards, and maybe even I know that a number of organisations are picking up that there should be some funding around, accessible kind of emergency centres and stuff, so that there are some standards nationally that apply locally, if that makes sense. So you have got a chance to feed into that by Sunday, and it's not my fault it closes on Sunday. That's just where we're at.
Okay. Thanks so much, everyone. And for those of you who would like to do the evaluation later, we will post it on the website and also email it to you. And Emily's also going to post the expression of interest form in the chat now, but likewise we will also email that, and it will be available on our website if you don't want to do that now. Before we close off, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. This has been a real team pulling this together, and it's mainly been Juliana, who unfortunately wasn't able to be here today. And those of you who know her, it was hard to stop her from being here today. But yeah, so we've pulled together. A particular thank you to Joy from the council, who stepped in and really helped us, and Emily McLean, who's the most amazing offsider for me. I also wanted to thank Catherine O'Brien and Nicola Owen and Tash and Robin for making this webinar accessible for us. A huge thank you to the GAP members. You can see we're in very safe and capable hands moving forward. So thank you all for your involvement. And I also wanted to do a real shout out to Nadia de Blau and Ben Brooks, who are my colleagues in Resilient Tamaki Makaurau. So thank you too for being here. This pilot's really important to the council. So yeah, and lastly, but not least, thank you to Emily Sutton, who came in and did the wonderful interactive piece. And do come and join us at the focus groups, because you'll get to work with Emily and the GAP members further. And a very last thank you to all of you who tuned in online and gave up a couple of hours. So I'm going to ask Leslie if he'll close us off with a karakia and wish you all really well for the rest of today.
Kia ora, Carolyn. Kia ora everyone, karakia pakumutunga. Ko mutu a mātou mahi o tēnei wā. Anātitia mātou, ia mātou o puki ana ki o mātou whainga. Kia haumaru, kia haere, kia tau, te rangi mārie. Kia mau tonu te aroha kia wainganui i a tātou. Amen.
Thanks so much, everyone.